Yeah, it's the WrestleMania 39 Night 1 post show on the Ringside Report Network. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's party. It's WrestleMania.
We're doing it. We're doing it live. We are here. WrestleMania 39 Night 1 in the books.
That's right.
We just watched it.
The history books.
Mm-hmm. It was all right. It was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought we had some good wrestling matches tonight from Los Angeles. The set looked nice. The production was good. Overall, I enjoyed WrestleMania Night 1. Thought we had some fantastic wrestling matches, some contenders for Match of the Year, no doubt. A couple of them tonight. And I think it's going to be tough to determine the match of the night. And I want to start there. I want to go right off the bat, get right into it. I guess we should give a shout out to some of the people watching. Of course, Doug Hepburn, member of the team, supporter of the Ringside Report Network, watching us live. Shout out to Doug and Nick out in Kingston, Ontario. Got our boy Johnny North, who's normally on the show, but he didn't actually catch all of WrestleMania, so he decided to step away from the show tonight and just be in the chat, I guess. He's just going to watch.
He's a man of the people.
Yeah, he's going to be a viewer tonight, and everybody else watching us live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and, of course, the mighty Rumble. So we are everywhere. We're on all the things, and we're talking.
Watch out, Russell Brand.
We are talking WrestleMania 39. Your mic, apparently. Something wrong. Yeah, you got to get
closer.
it.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. Okay. Ryan Katz says we just watched Match of the Night, and I think it was pretty damn good. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn main eventing tonight, which surprised me a little bit. I thought Charlotte and Rhea would close the show. Rhea won the Royal Rumble. It was a singles match. I thought you would give the women's division a main event for one of the nights. Of course, Roman and Cody are going to main event tomorrow. I figured one of the main events would be a women's match, but it was not. I don't love the choice there because I think you're saying, the WWE is all about the bloodline, and you're just giving us more bloodline here. And this is also the B story of the bloodline, right? Like, Sammy and Kevin are going up against the Usos, who aren't the main guys in the group. Roman Reigns is the main guy, and he's wrestling tomorrow night. So I think by putting this story as the main event of WrestleMania Night 1, you're kind of telling the audience that this is kind of the warm-up for Night 2 and isn't a standalone event that can hold its own with its own main event and its own theme and its own feel, which I think is a better way to do it, rather than just kind of have this as, well, this is just an appetizer for tomorrow night. I think that kind of kills the vibe of WrestleMania, of it being a big deal, And
also about showcasing everybody on the roster, saying, hey, this is our entire company. Look how excellent it is.
Yeah. It just kind of says, this show is all about the bloodline, and this is the B story in that group, and tomorrow is the A story with Roman and Cody. So I don't love that. I thought everybody performed well. I just would have liked Rhea and Charlotte to close the show. Some people disagree. I think Kevin and Sammy have had a great year, especially Sammy, right? Sammy and the Usos have had a great year, and they deserve a big match, but I don't think they needed to close the show. It was historic, though. First time since WrestleMania 2 that a tag team match has ended a WrestleMania.
So 2 or 1? 2 was
sorry.
I think it was 1 because 2 was Bundy and Hogan.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right about that. And first time ever that it's a tag team title match
Yeah.
to main event WrestleMania. And, of course, the tag team titles changed. The Usos, longest-running tag team champions in the history of the WWE, dropping the belts to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. An incredible match full of false finishes. Sami Zayn kicking out of the 1D, first man to kick out of the Usos finisher. Usos slamming Kevin Owens through that announce table looked like the end of Kevin Owens, but he came back, got a hot tag, doing everything. Sami hit the Helluva kick on Jimmy. Kevin hit the stunner on Jay. 1-2 on Jimmy Uso, but Jimmy kicks out. Kevin Owens took the double splash from the Usos.
Yeah.
He kicked out. Sami finally for the finish hit 2 Helluva kicks, hit 1 kick on Jay, and then he grabbed him, set him up for another, hit another one on Jay. Jimmy jumped in the ring. Kevin hit a stunner. Sami then hit the 3rd Helluva kick on Jay. Because these guys were kicking out of finishers tonight, you had to hit 3 to win. And that's what Sami Zayn did on Jey Uso, finishing that whole story, getting the pinfall on Jay, taking the tag team titles, Kevin and Sami celebrating in the middle of the ring at the end of the night. It was a nice moment. Fans were happy. The match was fantastic. And I think it's really between that and Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair for match of the night. I think everything else was fine, but Rhea and Charlotte was as good a match as you're going to see, as perfect a wrestling match as you're going to see. But then again, Kevin and Sami, I thought, and the Usos, they followed very well. They followed that match, and they were able to deliver a main event level performance here at WrestleMania. They should all be very proud of what they did tonight.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Tremendous work.
They saved the show.
Yeah, I'm talking about those 6 people specifically. Yeah. Rhea, Charlotte, Jimmy, Jay, Kevin, and Sami. They were the MVPs of tonight's WrestleMania, for sure. And I don't think that you would be wrong in saying one match is better than the other as far as match of the night. I'm torn. Like, I don't know.
I'm certain in my decision. I think it's Rhea and Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
I found the tag team match was kind of slow at the beginning. It just started off with just Sami taking heat, and it just kind of I wasn't that paying attention. And then they started bringing in the tables and started getting a little more crazy, the close finishes. But it took a little time to get started. Rhea and Charlotte right off the bat was like intense and hard hitting, and they didn't stop until the finish. So I love that match.
Derek John saying Rhea and Charlotte is match of the night, and I think I have to agree with you guys. I think I have to agree. That match was incredible. It exceeded my expectations.
Oh, yeah. I didn't actually have that high expectation. I thought it'll be solid because I remember their last WrestleMania match I wasn't in love with. It was fine, but kind of disappointed me. But they went above and beyond in this one.
Yeah. It was terrific, man. It was, that's it. Derek John making a good point. Usos versus Sami and Kevin, a close second, a very close second, right? And I saw Ryan Katz thought that was match of the night. What was your match of the night? Give me your thoughts. I see Matthew Henley. I see Ahmad. I see Ryan Katz. I see Trans Am. I see Johnny North, Derek John, Doug Hepburn, everybody in the chat, CSL Lorne. Shout out to everybody tuning in live here tonight. I know it's late, but hey, it's WrestleMania, right? It's a big time. We're very excited here at the Ringside Report Network. Carmine Mambro says Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair definitely match of the night. Shout out to you, Carmine.
Carmine!
Carmine Mambro, not Carmine Lupertazzi. Take it easy.
No, I was actually thinking of a different Carmine, actually. The one who crashes his car.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, a lot of Carmines in Sopranos. All right, Carmine, little Carmine, and, of course, big Carmine. So shout out Carmine. Doug Hepburn says, you're right, Ben. Charlotte and Rhea was hard-hitting. Hopefully they steer Rhea in the right direction. Yeah. Carmine says that the match, Rhea versus Charlotte, reminded him of Macho versus Steamboat, WrestleMania 3. And I think that he's right, because I think that match was so good, it's going to be looked at in 20, 30 years down the road as one of the all-time greatest matches in the history of WrestleMania. It was that good,
Yeah.
which is crazy, right? Like, I think it's match of the night. Kevin and Sammy against the Usos was damn good. It was damn good. I don't know if it'll be looked at in the history books as one of the greatest WrestleMania matches, but it might. You know, it really might, because it was so good, man.
I could see,
and that's why I thought this. Sorry,
go ahead.
That's why I thought this show was really good, because those two matches were so excellent. Like, they were classics. You know, Kevin and Sammy against the Usos, Charlotte and Rhea, those were classic WrestleMania matches, all-time great matches that would stand up next to any of the all-time great matches in the history of WrestleMania. That's how good those two matches were. Everything else was fine. You know, we had some good matches. Logan Paul and Seth Rollins was pretty good. We had some good stuff. Even the tag team, the Fatal 4-Way was good. You know, we had good stuff here tonight. But the tag match and the women's title match, I mean, this was WrestleMania caliber, right? And that's what you're looking for at a show like this. You're looking for WrestleMania. You're looking for a match that is so good that you're not going to see it on any other show. They are pulling out all the stops. They're doing everything. Charlotte Flair is not taking that German suplex on the face bump at any show but WrestleMania, because it's not worth the risk.
Hell no.
But at WrestleMania, you go for the gusto. You go that extra mile. And those 6 individuals went that extra mile. They should be getting big WrestleMania bonuses. Big.
So.
Like, I hope they get paid big time after this. Somebody better be sending those people a fat envelope, because they earned it. They earned it. Tremendous wrestling tonight. Tremendous. So, whatever your match of the night is, you're correct. But our consensus match of the night here, at least on this program, is Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. What a damn match. So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn beat the Usos. They're the new tag team champions. We'll see where they go from there. I think probably a rematch with the Usos is most likely, and then, you know, who knows?
Street Profits.
Street Profits, who won the Fatal 4-Way tag match, which was a good match too. They could be next for Kevin and Sami, although I don't know how much interest there is in that. Right?
I mean...
Kevin and Sami come off this hot angle, and what do they do next? They feud with the Street Profits in a babyface on babyface feud? Like, I don't know. I think maybe the Viking Raiders. Just because the Street Profits won the match tonight doesn't mean they're next in line for the tag team titles. There was no stipulation for the tag belts in that match, right?
No, it was just, hey, you're on the card.
It was a WrestleMania showcase, which means they had some guys that they wanted to put on WrestleMania, and this was all they had left because the Andre the Giant Battle Royal was on SmackDown.
Who won that, by the way?
Bobby Lashley.
Oh.
Yeah. It was down to him and Bronson Reed at the end. But, of course, Bobby won, which is a consolation prize for Bobby because he doesn't get to have a match with Bray Wyatt this weekend.
Actually, that's everyone's gain.
Yeah. Okay, how about this? I think we have a lot of people liking the Rhea Charlotte match of the night. What are we giving this pay-per-view on 10? How do we see this pay-per-view overall? Now, let me recap some of the action that we saw throughout the night, some of the other matches. Austin Theory beating John Cena in the opener in just over 11 minutes. The Street Profits beating Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders in 8.5 minutes in a Fatal 4-Way tag match. Seth Freakin beating Logan Paul in about 16 minutes. Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch over Damage Control in 14:40. Rey Mysterio over Dominic Mysterio. That's right, Rey over Dominic in just under 15 minutes. Rhea Ripley over Charlotte Flair in 23.5 minutes. Pat McAfee with a guy called George Kittle, who I thought was one of the Ass Boys. He looked like one of the Ass Boys. He had the Ass Boys haircut. I thought, oh, Billy Gunn has another son and he's hanging out with Pat McAfee, but apparently not. That match actually happened. Pat McAfee and The Miz, which, unnecessary. Big waste of time there. I think that hurt the show's overall grade. And then, of course, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn beating the Usos in just under 25 minutes in the main event of WrestleMania.
That's right, pal. Look at my mustache.
What a mustache.
Looks like Walt Disney.
Did you guys see Vince's mustache? Before we give the grades on 10, let me give you guys some time to compile your grades on 10 here in the chat. I'm seeing them already. Derek John with a 7.5. Let me see your grades on 10 here for WrestleMania. And while I wait to see you give me your grades for WrestleMania, I'm going to give you the greatness that is the stash.
Oh my
There
God.
it is. It's Vince McMahon's. That's right, pal. This is what I look like when I'm posing with the great Muta. I've got a mustache now. Looks like Gomez Adams from the Adams family. Hey, pal.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da.
Or Walt Disney, you know.
Hey, pal, I want to sell to Walt Disney, so now I am Walt Disney, pal.
That's right.
What a stash. And the hair, too, so dark and unnatural. I don't know why he is doing what he's doing, but he looks super weird.
Yep.
Super
He's
weird.
like a weird Vegas entertainer.
Hey, pal, I'm greasy as fuck. Like, he's just so greasy.
Yeah.
He's greasier than ever with that look.
Yeah, the
Woo.
mustache.
Hey, pal. He's offering free mustache rides all WrestleMania weekend. Hey, Stacy Keibler, you want to... Okay, Derek John giving a 7.5 on 10. Ahmad giving it an 8 only because it exceeded my low expectations. Okay. Carmine did not love the Theory versus Cena match. I didn't either. Lauren wants to know who won the Fens match. I don't even know what that means. What is a Fen? What is a Fen? All right.
If it means Pens, like the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I don't know what he's
I don't
asking
know.
us, but it's not a grade on 10, so I'm going to keep on moving. Thank you, Lauren. What's a Fens match? Doug Hepburn says I give it an 8. Cena. What? Doug Hepburn says I give it an 8. Fun watching with Nick. If it wasn't WrestleMania, it would have been a 7. Okay. Ryan Katz giving it an 8. Last two matches changed the rating from 7 to 8. Yep. Carmine giving it a 7.5. Trans Am giving it an 8. Seen a lot of 7.5s to 8. And that's how I feel. I think this is an 8 for me. I liked it. I had fun. It was my daughter's first WrestleMania. Right? Little Zozo's first WrestleMania, so that was nice.
That was pretty cool.
Right? Lauren says good banana bread tonight. No,
Oh,
we
yeah.
went fungal a little bit. Made it more fun, I think. But yeah, I thought 8 overall because those two matches at the end were classic. And everything else was pretty good. What's your match of the night that isn't the tag or the women's match?
For me, I guess I'll say...
What was the next best thing?
Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. I think that had a lot of...
It was
a
pretty
lot of
good.
salad dressing, as our dear friend John North likes to say.
Yeah.
But no, it was solid. Had some exciting spots. The KSI guy taking that table spot.
I mean, it started exciting. Logan Paul comes out on a zip line.
Yeah, very Shawn Michaels-y.
You know, with a microphone, and then there's a bottle of Prime mascot running down to the ring, which, by the way, I found, if you're local here in Montreal, I found the Prime is at Couche-Tard for like $3.50, so you could get Prime for a reasonable price. I got a bottle of Tropical Punch in honor of WrestleMania. Matthew Henley giving it an 8.5 on 10. That's a high grade, but I think that's fair because those two matches at the end were so damn good. I think anything between a 7 and a 9 makes a lot of sense to me. We had some good stuff tonight. Logan Paul, the Bottle of Prime mascot, with him to the ring. You knew somebody was in that costume. I thought it might have been Jake Paul. Turned out to be KSI. Seth's entrance was a little weird with the conductor guy doing the thing.
That didn't work.
And there was no orchestra. Like, there seemed to be people singing, but you didn't see anybody singing, so it was just kind of piped in. They just had a dude, doing the orchestra thing. Like, it was whack.
It was possibly supposed to be but the fans he was conducting.
He did
but then they piped in this, like, always every time. It was this weird thing. Like, they didn't let the fans do it.
I didn't like Seth's entrance. Logan Paul had a better entrance. The Bottle of Prime pulled Logan out of the ring. It was KSI, and then Rollins went after him, but Logan attacked Seth from behind and set him up on the announce table to do a top rope splash through the announce table to the outside, but Seth moved, pulled KSI on the table, and Logan went through KSI. So KSI showing up, taking a big bump. I don't think the fans really knew who KSI was. They didn't seem to pop. They didn't seem to care or really be aware. He's another YouTube guy who does boxing, and he's Logan Paul's partner in the Prime drink, so he's a celebrity of sorts. Seth brought Logan in the ring for a pedigree for a 2 count, though. Logan hit a GTS, then a frog splash. Seth kicked out at 2. A couple false finishes in this one until Seth eventually setting up Logan for the curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins wins. I thought that match was pretty solid. You know, I liked that match. I even liked Ray and Dominic. Ray and Dominic exceeded my expectations. Yeah. So for that reason, I'm giving this thing an 8 on 10 overall. Solid night 1. And I think that the night 2 card might even be better on paper. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully they deliver.
I think I'll put it maybe more like 7.5.
Okay.
Maybe some matches I didn't quite love as much. Like the tag team main event or some others. I didn't really like the women's 6-lady tag much, but I don't know. So I found a few more dead spots, but I did enjoy the match. So a lot of the high points, though, I do agree with you with. But I'm just a little bit lower. So
yeah,
7.5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, we had to sit through Pat McAfee and The Miz.
Yeah, that one really sucked the air out of things.
And we were doing so well for time with Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. That was over around like 11:15 or something, and maybe 11. And I was like, oh, okay, we're good. We're going to get there. Main event time. We're ready. And then all of a sudden, there's like video packages and commercials, and then the Miz promo again, and Pat McAfee showing up, and then a match for some reason, and then another video package. It just took forever to get to the main event, and we were ready for it.
Lil Uzi Vert came out to sing a bit, kinda, but it's more just getting the crowd hyped.
I mean, I got no problem with Lil Uzi.
No, it's fine. Actually, I'm kind of surprised they were able to get he's kind of a big name in rap still.
Yeah.
That, like, they were able to get him. You know, usually WWE isn't too good with booking contemporary acts. You think
modern people?
Yeah, you think they would have gotten like LL Cool J or something? You know?
Yeah, I think that has to do with the Usos just kind of knowing what's relevant right now.
That's good.
Yeah, I thought it was cool to have him. I'm seeing people saying a Trans Am, Doug Hepburn, Ryan Katz, no idea who KSI was, and a lot of them thought that it was R-Truth, which was my first reaction too. I was like, is that Truth? What's he doing? I was like, oh no, wait, that's KSI. Because he had the bandana and you could barely see his face. You could just see the bandana and the eyes, and I was like, is that R-Truth? Why is R-Truth there? Because in wrestling, you're conditioned to, see wrestlers.
Yeah.
But no, it was KSI. But yeah, you guys were not alone. Obviously, a lot of people thought that it was R-Truth, and I thought it was Truth for a second. And I said to you, I was like, man, I thought that was Truth. And you're like, yeah, I did too,
Yeah. And like, it wasn't that long ago when every week on Raw was an R-Truth sketch where he was dressed up as something in the background.
Costume.
Yeah, so to see him as a giant bottle, it's like, oh, it's R-Truth. He's here at WrestleMania.
We're conditioned to expect to see R-Truth pop out of a costume.
Yeah.
And when it wasn't R-Truth, it was like, oh, okay, it was KSI.
Where's Tozawa in the 24/7 Championship?
Yeah.
And Dana Brooke and, all that stuff.
Anthony Plessia, member of the team. Don't forget to join over at join.ringsidereport.net like Anthony did.
And Reggie.
He really liked the Ray and Dominic entrances. I did too. I thought they were great entrances. Anthony giving it an 8 on 10. WrestleMania Night 1. I agree. 8 on 10 for me. And we're seeing pretty much scores around there, 7.5 to 8 to 8.5. So pretty solid first night of WrestleMania, I think, top to bottom. Anthony did not like John Cena. Didn't think he looked great. He wanted Cena to get a tan for the Mania.
100%. Anthony, you are correct. Cena looked like shit.
Yeah, Cena did not look
good.
Great.
Looked skinny.
But maybe because he's got movies and filming, he can't over-tan for the wrestling match. His hair is very thin. I was surprised how bald he was. He's got like a comb over, but then when he starts moving, he's really bald there, John Cena. It just surprised me because I didn't realize that he had such little hair going for him. The match was not anything special.
Never heard that term before.
He's got such little hair going for him.
You know, like they're
cheering the hair's just not going for him. Yeah. You know, the hair's like, see you later, Cena. We're not working for you anymore.
Cena sucks.
Yeah.
Cena sucks.
Yeah, we're going down the drain, Cena. We don't want any part of you anymore. God. If you would have told me that if you would have told me that Kevin Hart would be at WrestleMania but not The Rock, I would have been like, what? What do you mean? Why?
That's true.
Why did that happen? China said no to the 10. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Cena. Yeah, the match was not great. Cena coming up with a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids. I was like, oh, Cena's got to win now.
Yeah.
All these like sick children escorting him to the ring. He's got to win it for the kids. No, he lost to Austin Theory. Cena picked Theory up for the attitude adjustment and the spot that we've seen a million times in John Cena matches. Cena kind of walks this way and Austin Theory's feet kick the referee. The referee bumps like he got hit with a rocket. Cena puts Theory in the STF, so Cena put Theory in the STF and then Theory taps and Cena at that moment thinks he's won, even though no referee has told him that he's won, right?
No bell rings.
Now,
the crowd doesn't go, ah! Like, you should know this stuff by now, John.
Now, explain to me why John Cena, when he has Austin Theory in the attitude adjustment, and then Theory kicks the ref, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why does Cena put him down and put him in the STF? Why doesn't he hit the attitude adjustment?
I have no clue.
It seemed as though in the moment when Cena put Theory down that he was aware that the referee had been bumped.
Yeah.
Then moments later, Theory taps and Cena's like, I win. And it's
oh,
like, no,
God.
what?
You look like such a dork.
It looked terrible. And, you know, the finish was bad. It was corny. The match up until that point was really uneventful. It was not a great opener. The only thing good about this match opening the show was that we got it over with. So, Theory tapped. Cena thought he won. And then when he realized the ref was down, he went to check on the ref. The ref is still down. Theory hits a low blow on Cena when Cena turns his back. And then he hits the 8-count down. The ref, at this point, miraculously recovers and counts 1, 2, 3 for Austin Theory to win, beat John Cena, and retain the U.S. title. Now, this is what John Cena needed to do. He needed to come in and lose, but the match just kind of was flat. It wasn't much of anything. It was an uninspired finish. It was what it was. But, again, Cena doesn't have to be here. He doesn't have to show up to WrestleMania, and he certainly doesn't have to do a job to Austin Theory if he doesn't want to. So, you got to give it to Cena. He showed up. He lost to Theory. Theory can go on and brag about beating John Cena at WrestleMania for the next 5 to 10 years. Johnny North. Cena was bad, no surprise. Yeah. Yeah, not a surprise. But you know what, John? Austin Theory didn't carry him through shit.
Yeah.
So maybe Austin Theory needs to check himself as well, because I don't care how bad your opponent is, you should be able to carry your opponent through something. I saw some Japanese dudes for a DDT promotion. I saw some clips of some Japanese dudes having a hell of a match with a blow-up doll this weekend for some wrestling. Did you see that? You didn't see that? Oh, my God. These Japanese dudes were going bananas with this blow-up doll, having one hell of a match, way better than Austin Theory could have pulled out of John Cena tonight. So don't tell me that it's all Cena's fault. Austin Theory is 26 years old or 27, and, you know, Yeah, it might be 25. Doesn't matter. The guy's young, and he could be bumping around for Cena, but he didn't do shit. The match was garbage. Theory got the win. Not a clean win, but, he beat Cena.
I
So
don't know. Yeah.
it's the best you can expect.
But, like, it didn't accomplish what they wanted. Like, what they really wanted was to give a rub to Theory, Because, like, they mentioned that Cena was in the opening match of WrestleMania 20 against Big Show, and, like, that was a big stepping stone in his career for a mid-card title, and kind of, like, they're kind of setting the thing that Theory happened. And, like, Cena didn't hit one attitude adjustment because they had the ref bump.
Yeah.
So Theory didn't get to kick out of it and look like Strong kicking out of Cena's big move.
Mm-hmm.
He tapped out right away in the SCF, so he looks weak.
Yeah.
And then Cena doesn't kick out of his move to kind of give it more drama and like, oh, Super Cena, and then he has to like finish him.
Yeah.
Like it felt like you're
low
playing
blow finisher
it's such
over.
an easy mode finish, Like there was nothing to it. There was no drama. There was no stakes.
No.
So then it almost like, why have John Cena at all? Like it didn't accomplish what I mean. Yes, the name and everything, but at the same time, like the booking of the match and the setting up of the match didn't have what the ingredients needed to what you want from John Cena giving the rub to Austin Theory going forward.
Yeah, but I think that the match that we saw was the best Cena can do.
Yeah, I guess he just can't move like that anymore. He just doesn't. He's not.
And the only way to put Theory over a little stronger would be to have, the ref bump not happen and to have him just beat Cena, which I think was probably a better move for Theory long term.
He should have kicked out of the attitude adjustment.
Because you're right, Theory doesn't come off looking any stronger after this. He's just a shitty heel that can brag about beating Cena, but the audience knows, like, yeah, but you didn't really.
And Cena, when he wrestled Big Show, that's when he picked up Big Show and threw him down. And then going forward, you're like, well, that's what we kind of knew. Like, that time next year, he was going to be in, like, the main event, and he was.
But they're building Cena to be the company's top babyface, and they're clearly not doing that with Austin Theory right now.
He might try to be building out to be the next big heel.
Not next year. Next year in the main event for the world title, I don't think so.
Cody Rhodes is the champion? They could make Austin Theory win the Rumble.
No. He's not ready. He's nowhere near ready.
If they dedicate a lot of Raw to him.
You see these promos building up with Cena? He could not carry the ball. He could not do it. He struggled.
Going to try. Like The Miz in 2010.
All right, bite your tongue. I don't want that shit happening. The Miz is in the ring with Snoop Dogg welcoming us to WrestleMania, and that's basically where The Miz belongs. He did have a match with Pat McAfee. Thankfully, it was short. It was not great. McAfee did a swanton from the top rope to the floor, totally missed, and then didn't sell it because he was supposed to have hit Miz, but Miz did not catch him.
Classic Miz.
Also, do you really want to catch McAfee? The guy has zero grace, He's fallen like an elephant from the top rope. You don't want to catch that guy. He's fallen with a thud. Let him hit the mat.
Speaking of R-Truth, Miz never caught him.
Yeah, well, so McAfee wound up beating the Miz with a punt kick. It was not good. It was not good at all. What else happened here tonight at WrestleMania? Hold on. How about the Street Profits beating Ricochet and Braun Strowman, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders? I thought maybe Ricochet and Braun would have won. The Street Profits wind up winning. Ivar at one point went for a moonsault, missed the moonsault. Braun Strowman then went to the top rope, hit a splash on Ivar. Kind of crazy to see Braun Strowman go to the top rope. Never seen that before. Ricochet went for a splash here at the finish, but Dawkins got his knees up and held on to Ricochet, and then Montez did a splash onto Rico, who was on Dawkins' legs. It was a pretty cool, innovative finish there by the Street Profits to get the win on Ricochet. It was a fun match. They did what they needed to do. Second match on the card. It's not going to steal the show, but it was solid. It was solid. So I like that one. Then we had Seth Rollins, of course, beating Logan Paul. Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch, and Lita over Damage Control. Becky Lynch hitting the manhandle slam off the second rope for the pin on Bayley. This match just never got going. It just never hit that second gear. It was nothing special whatsoever. It was a low point, to be honest. I think Trish and Lita were behind a step or two. Yeah, Lita did not look good at all, especially, I think. Like I said to you, she's moving around like Cactus Jack in there.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on? Is she okay? It was not good. This was not a good match. Waste of tag team championships, because Becky and Lita are the tag team champions, not being defended at WrestleMania. Just a complete and utter waste. This was like a feel-good, Raw match to send fans home happy. This was not a WrestleMania match. This match felt out of place on this card because it didn't feel big time in any way.
And especially for big time Bex.
Yeah, did not feel big time for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good. Doug Hepburn said Chad Gable damn near stole the show in that tag match. Yeah, he did. That German suplex that he hit on Braun Strowman was ridiculous.
Beautiful.
Gable is so good, but unfortunately the WWE just doesn't seem to give him the respect that he deserves. It's really too bad.
Shorty G, pal.
And yeah, Ryan Katz saying another problem with that match is Bayley's partners don't look like they're on her level, and they're not. You have, like I was saying last night when I was previewing this match, you had two Hall of Famers, two future Hall of Famers, and two other people. Like you have Trish and Lita, who are in the Hall of Fame. You got Becky and Bayley, who are going to the Hall of Fame. And then you got Dakota and Io Sky, who, maybe you'll be in the Hall of Fame one day. You never know. But now,
they're not booked
now they're not.
I mean, they're both quite talented wrestlers, especially Io. But, like, Dakota is no slouch at all. Like, she has got some very creative offense.
I'm saying you got 4 stars in this match.
Yeah.
And 3 of them are on one team, and 1 of them is on the other. So Bayley was really at a disadvantage going into this match. It seemed obvious that Trish, Lita, and Becky had to win, and they did, and it really wasn't anything great.
Yeah, Damage Control's been booked horribly. Like, they're booked like the Riot Squad. It's unfortunate. Like, they should be like a more dominant faction.
Yeah.
And they're just turning them into jokes. It's unfortunate. They're all 3 of them are quite talented.
They gave him a run with the tag team titles, and what did it do? What did it do? Doug Hepburn says that Poetry in Motion spot wasn't good. It was really bad.
Oh, yeah.
That Lita Poetry in Motion attempt, I mean, you're supposed to kind of have some movement there. She just kind of fell into a sloppy clothesline. What was the plan? Was Lita warned that she was going to have another little run here in the ring?
Yeah.
Did she have any time to get ready for this? Because it seemed like she was doing nothing. They brought her in, and now she's wrestling, and she's really not prepared. Really not prepared. I know she's had a lot of injuries, but damn, why is she wrestling then? Because it's really not working. They got to drop those tag team titles as soon as possible. Get them on Shayna and Ronda as soon as you can. Next, we had Rey Mysterio versus Dominic. Rey came out in a lowrider. Nothing but a G thing playing. Snoop Dogg driving the lowrider. It was pretty cool. And then Eddie Guerrero's music played for a little while, and Rey danced. And then Rey got on the stage, and his music played, and he did his whole thing. So he had 3 entrances in one.
Yeah.
And then when he got to ringside, there was a Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascot dancing around for some reason. And there was Cinnamon Toast Crunch branding on the barricade and the ring apron through the whole match. So this match was brought to you by Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't know why at all.
Why this match?
It was the favorite cereal of the Mysterio kids growing up. I don't know.
Or the guy from marketing at Cinnamon Toast Crunch is like, man, I really think it should be the.
You know what we need? You know what we need our cereal?
Families like cereal.
We need our cereal associated with a father beating up his son. I think that's what we want to do here. Let's associate our cereal with corporal punishment, like a father taking a belt and whipping his son in the butt on international pay-per-view.
Yeah.
How about that?
There's no reason that the Cinnamon Toast Crunch couldn't have sponsored the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match.
They could have sponsored anything, but this match seemed to be the feel-good match of the night.
Let's have a mascot.
Everybody wanted to see a father beat up his son. I see a lot of fathers celebrating this match, too. Like, yeah, showing the kids who's boss, da-da-da. I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of fathers have some weird relationships with their sons.
What's up with that?
I don't want to beat up my son.
No.
I let my son beat me up. I let him win, because he's small. I guess Dominic's bigger than Ray, so it was fair. Screw you, Dominic. Plus, Dominic's been to prison. He's probably done some really bad things,
Oh, should we
Prison Dom.
speak of the little controversy that's generated? One of the images they used in Dominic's
yeah.
pre-show thing, video package.
So they had this whole entrance for Dominic, and it was a cool entrance, but they were showing all these like prison images, and apparently, is this true though?
Yeah, it was because people were saying I went there and I walked past like where they showed it.
Apparently,
It's like one of the places they show you.
One of the prison images was Auschwitz.
It's not
like a Holocaust death camp.
like
That was one of the stock images they used in the Dominic Mysterio prison walkout. Did they not know that when they used the images? Like, who's making this stuff?
Like, what's this? The third sort of brush with like Nazis. There was Gunther Stark.
Yeah, who was like some Nazi guy, right?
Yeah, it's like
They wanted to name Gunther Stark, and then it turned out he was some like Nazi commander who killed a bunch of people.
There's something in between that and this.
Well, Gunther's rating in the WWE video game
88
was 88,
yes,
which is
because 8 is H, the 8th letter of the word, so 88HH.
It's like a Nazi. Don't say it
on YouTube.
Oh, but it's bad. H. For the bad H, it's double. So
H, we're calling him H now.
Not Triple H, the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, there's been some weird
brushes
with,
or like coincidence of like we didn't know. Oh, God, it was going to slip past us somehow.
Yeah.
It's like plausible deniability, and like. A lot of people are doing kind of brushes with Nazism, but doing what? I'm just joking or something. Whoa.
Yeah, it's a thing.
And it's just like, that's like I don't say I'm uncomfortable or nothing, but like
it's weird,
and they're starting to pile up.
Does Road Dogg still work for them?
And all the heavy metal leather Viking.
All right, well, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of linkages to Scrazzies.
Right. Well, Ray and Dominic are not Nazis. They're Mexican.
God, I hope not.
You can't be. They're Mexican.
Leader of the Proud Boys guy named Enrique Tarrio.
Oh shit! I don't think you can. A Mexican guy.
Or Nick Fuentes. Or can I say that on YouTube?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know who that is. Anyways,
Kanye's buddy.
Oh, that guy.
A little like.
I don't think Kanye hangs out with him anymore. He watched a Jonah Hill movie and everything's all right.
Yeah.
So back to Dominic Mysterio. I guess that's what we were talking about.
Oh yeah.
Ray hit Dominic with a belt. Dominic went outside the ring, threw a drink in his sister's face. She tried to go after him, but Ray stopped her. Dominic told his mom to shut up at one point, so she slapped him, which the crowd loved. Damian Priest and Finn Balor showed up at one point during the match. Ray hit the 619, but Finn distracted the referee while Damian stopped Ray on the top rope, stopped him from hitting the splash, which led to Legado del Fantasma coming out to attack Finn and Damian Priest. Dominic hit the 619 and a frog splash on Ray. I thought it was over, but Ray kicked out at 2. Dominic went to expose the turnbuckle to distract the referee and went to the other side of the ring and grabbed a chain that Damian Priest had left for him to use as a weapon. But Bad Bunny, who was doing guest commentary with the Spanish announce team, said no, and took the chain away from Dominic Mysterio, which distracted him and allowed Ray to kick his son in the back and then hit his 619 and a frog splash to get the pinfall victory over Dominic. Ray beats Dominic with some help from Bad Bunny. So don't be surprised if we see some sort of tag team match between Ray. This is the match that is going to happen at WrestleMania Backlash or whatever they're calling it in May, their next show in Puerto Rico that's hosted by Bad Bunny. I am predicting a match between Ray and Bad Bunny versus Dominic and Damian Priest. Damian Priest and Bad Bunny are a former tag team. They know each other well. Damian's Puerto Rican as well. So I think it'll be Ray and Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest and Dominic at Backlash, which makes a lot of sense.
You could even add like Finn in there and put in one of the maybe Santos Escobar,
Oh yeah,
as like a representative of the Phantasmas.
give Bad Bunny less to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
He's on tour, I think.
But this match was all right. Ray and Dominic, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, no.
I liked it.
Exceeded my expectations. Like Dom. I mean, he's working with his father. Ray, really put himself through the paces for Dominic, but Dominic, he wasn't botching. He wasn't, he was hitting his spots. His 619 was nice. Frog splash, like it was good. He was entertaining. Like he did what he was set out to do, which is all that we could have asked of him.
Yeah.
He didn't disappoint this time.
It was what it needed to be and a little bit more.
Yeah, he stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
The big stage.
Yeah, Dominic, this is the biggest match of his career, and he showed up. It was decent, and Ray, of course, going above and beyond for his son. And you had so many outside elements like Damian Priest and Finn Balor and Legado del Fantasma and Bad Bunny.
Mm-hmm. But that was only like at the end.
And Ray's, well, I mean, there was a lot going on with Ray's wife and Ray's daughter.
Yeah,
I mean, there was a lot going on, but that's all part of the story, and it allowed us to kind of distract from, it not being a pure wrestling match, which you couldn't really have with Dominic and Ray. So you needed those extra elements to make it more interesting, and it did. Like, it worked, It was. I wasn't bored. I was like, me neither. What's next? What's next? And it wasn't necessarily a big move or some cool story they were telling in the ring, but all the other stuff was going on. It was like, oh, okay, there's constant action. There was a constant flow, and it didn't last more than 15 minutes. So it worked. It did the trick. And that was pretty much WrestleMania, right? We had Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. That German suplex that Charlotte took was probably the bump of the night. And that was our match of the night as well. The finish was incredible. Charlotte kicked out of the Riptide earlier in the match, but towards the end they were on the top rope. Charlotte gets her head smacked against the ring post and took it like she was dead. They're like, oh, Charlotte's knocked out, and she was just kind of lying there.
The hair draped over like it was glowing gold, so like the blonde hair, the light, it was cool.
It was very cool the way Charlotte took that final bump there. Well, the second to last bump with her face on the post, and then Rhea setting her up on the top rope. Well, Rhea standing on the second, but they're out there on the top rope. And it hits the Riptide, and it was just a killer final bump there for Charlotte. 1, 2, 3, middle of the ring. Rhea Ripley wins. Just incredible finish, incredible match. I can't say enough about how great Charlotte Flair is. She is a once-in-a-generation talent. She is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. And once again, she showed that she is on the top of her game and on the top of the division by far. Like, she's so damn good. She's got the total package. The robe was a little weird tonight. It looked like a winter jacket. But other than that, she is just the best. The presentation, everything she does is A1, high level. And the match tonight was just another one in a string of incredible matches for the great queen, Charlotte Flair. She is the best in the business. And I said it last night, and I'll say it again. Her and Roman Reigns are the two most valuable players in this business, in the whole, not just the WWE, but in all of professional wrestling. They are the two most important people. And I think that's why Charlotte Flair should have main evented tonight, because Charlotte is just, she's so special. She's so special, and she had such a great match with Rhea, and Rhea is the future of professional wrestling in a lot of ways. 26 years old. She's younger than MJF. No. Rhea Ripley has so much upside. She already
has quite a career already.
It feels like she's already a respected veteran, and she's 10 years younger than Charlotte Flair. It is incredible how good Rhea Ripley is at this stage in her life, and if she can go for another 10 years, my God, are we in for some classics with Rhea Ripley. She is right up there on the level with Charlotte Flair. I think that she doesn't have the aura that Charlotte has, like the look and the kind of vibe and the championship demeanor that Charlotte presents, and the promos aren't quite there with Rhea, but in the ring, my God, is she good. She can do it all.
No.
And I think that everything else is going to come with time, and she is going to be one of the greatest stars in the history of professional wrestling. I really think Rhea Ripley is another one of these all-time great talents, and I would say today, especially after this match, they're both future Hall of Famers. Like Charlotte would be, but I'd say Rhea Ripley is going to be as well. They are legends having legendary careers and legendary matches, and we got to witness another one here tonight. It was beautiful. This is what professional wrestling is all about for me, seeing the very best at the very peak, at the pinnacle event. Like, it doesn't get bigger than WrestleMania. They had, 80,427 announced in attendance in Los Angeles. You got big stars like Aziz Ansari sitting ringside. It's a big, big deal, you know? And
George Kittle.
Yeah, that's football ass boy and Aziz Ansari from Parks and Rec, all right? You got all these people that sitting there watching, and they delivered. You know, at the top level, they delivered, and that's what pro wrestling's all about.
I gotta say, and I loved Charlotte after the match when she's just sitting on the apron, and she's just smiling.
She's outside the ring, like just smiling.
Like, she's just like, forget whatever, the storyline or anything. It's just like, we just tore the bloody house down.
She's proud of herself.
Yeah, and she knows proud of Rhea, too.
She knows what she did, and that smile is telling the rest of the world, the rest of the locker room, follow that.
Yeah.
Follow that. Woo! You don't have to like it. You don't have to respect it. But it's the best thing going today. And there he is, Aziz Ansari. See, I told you he was at WrestleMania. You guys think I was just throwing names out there, like I just name-dropped celebrities. He was at WrestleMania. I was like, hey, that's Aziz Ansari from Parks and Rec. It's Tom Haverford. Randy.
Oh, Randy. It's so cold. What's so cold?
What the fuck are you talking about over there?
I remember an old Randy line, right. Something about a hot tub, it was cold out, and how are you supposed to say hot? It's so cold. I forget.
Yeah. And then we had Pat McAfee versus Miz, which, happened. And that was WrestleMania Night 1. Right?
Yeah.
That was it. That's it.
That was all.
That's what we saw. We liked it. I gave it an 8 on 10. You gave it a 7.5. A lot of people in the chat giving it a 7-8. In that range. Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat. Thank you, Doug. You're the super chat leader of the night. Says, thanks for doing this, guys. You are welcome. Shout out to Ray Cruz, who's a member of the team, who joined over at join.ringsidereport.net. $5 a month, supports the Ringside Report Network, keeps us going, keeps us doing shows like these. I will be back here tomorrow night for you for night 2 of WrestleMania. This is my 4th night in a row on the Ringside Report Network. Support me. Support your boy Dave. I've been here all week for you.
Trapped in this room.
I've been trapped in this room. I got kids to feed, baby. Help me out. I was here Thursday night with Ringside Report MMA, Friday night with Wrestling Uncensored. If you want to see our full WrestleMania preview, if you want to check out the preview for tomorrow night's episode of WrestleMania, you can check out last night's edition of Wrestling Uncensored. And, of course, I'm here tonight, and I'll be back here tomorrow night with you for night 2 of WrestleMania. And then I'll take a couple days off and be back for a big weekend next weekend on the Ringside Report Network, because we've got Ringside Report MMA Thursday, Wrestling Uncensored Friday, and next Saturday, for all our UFC fans, we've got the UFC 287 watch-along, big UFC pay-per-view going down next Saturday night in Miami. It's Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira for the middleweight title in the rematch, and we've got Jorge Masvidal taking on Gilbert Durinho Burns next Saturday night. I'm pretty hyped about that pay-per-view. It's going to be a lot of fun. Pretty hyped about night 2 of WrestleMania. We're going to have a lot of fun here watching the show and then back with you right after on the Ringside Report Network.
Please join in and give your support to Ringside Report Network. We've been providing expert coverage and commentary on both pro wrestling and MMA for over 15 years. Go to ringsidereport.net/support to find out more ways to support the channel.